back. I did hit my head.
Have you missed me? Yeah.
It was nice seeing you walk in.
Oh, I miss you.
I'm going back to the start.
Did I miss something? Please, did I miss something? I thought Hannah went in for the kiss first. So the audacity to blame, Tyler for being and saying that he's the one who came in for the kiss first doesn't make sense. And I get where Liberty's coming from, but I think she also needs to be careful. She was expressing how she felt instead of expressing how Kaz felt. As a friend, I think she should have waited until Kaz had cooled down and processed what happened, and then she would have sat down with Tyler and sort of told him how she feels or how her friend feels about what's happened. Anyway, I digress. Hey there, it's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island UK All Stars, Season 1, Episode 9. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, and turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. And definitely leave a comment. Why does it seem like the producers have said, we need you all to be in couples, so you have to do something about it, otherwise we're sending you home? Because you have, Toby speaking to Molly and them sort of realizing that maybe there might be something there and they want to, pursue that connection naturally to see if it grows. This is after Josh has moaned to Tyler that how, when I kissed Molly, she wasn't as enthusiastic as she was when, Toby was kissing her. And it's like, I saw this. I think I said this in my review before that she seemed more happy to kiss Toby than she did to kiss, Josh. So I'm not surprised that he saw it and he felt some type of way. But then the audacity to say he wants to get back with, or he wants to try and pursue a connection with Georgia H. I don't get that. He told her he was going to pursue Molly. And that's it. And Georgia H said, we're done. So the idea that he would think that he could go back to her and say, oh, let's pick up from where we left doesn't make sense. You have Callum and Georgia S sitting down, having a conversation. They seem into each other. I don't know whether they're really that seriously about one another, but it seems Callum is really gone. He actually goes to the extent of asking for a kiss. And it's like, well, if he likes her, I hope she likes him as much, because she seemed to be stuck on Toby. So I don't get what's happened now. We'll see if that lasts. So everyone is in the kitchen. You have a couple of islanders in the kitchen. And then you see Tyler and Hannah go up to the terrace. And for me, I don't get it. I really don't. For Hannah to turn around and say, oh, he stuck it on me. She was the one. They went to hug, and I think Tyler was going to kiss her on the cheek, but she went in for the hug. And then as soon as they released the hug, she went in straight and plunked her lips on him. And he tried to touch her bum, and then he let go. I don't know what happened there. Whether he felt something he wasn't expecting or what happened there, I don't know. I don't see them as a couple. I know someone in the comments wrote that, Tyler is not it. He's really not into Kaz. But I think I would rather he keep Kaz in the villa for as long as he can. They'll always find someone for Hannah, but it's going to be difficult for Kaz to find someone. So I hope he, gets himself centered and he goes back and he tells Kaz, as he's been asked to speak to Kaz about the case, and then they take it from there. I don't get why in her confessional Hannah tried to make it seem like he went in for the kiss when she is the one who went in for the kiss. But hey, it is what it is. Okay, this is my favorite week in Love Island. Can we start a petition to keep Tyler and Kaz in the villa? Because they are giving. They are giving the drama that you need. They are giving. Anyway, Tyler then comes downstairs with Hannah, and then he goes to have a chat with his boy Toby. And so he's telling Toby, Toby's sort of explaining what happened with Molly and how he felt he, after one conversation, he just, fell back, and how he shut off things with Georgia S just because he wanted to have a conversation with Molly, and it didn't seem to pan out. So he thought it was over, but now it seems there is a possibility they could explore a connection. So his analogy was his car is in first gear and is ready to go. And it was like, okay, if that's what keeps you there, amazing. Because I like the friendship that they have, Toby and Tyler. Anyway, Tyler then reveals that he went upstairs with Hannah, and when he went upstairs with Hannah, they kissed, and he doesn't know what to do now. And Toby was saying, it was very difficult to read. It was very difficult to read Kaz when Toby went to the terrace, because she didn't seem like she was jealous. She didn't seem like she was phased. She also didn't seem like she was happy. So she was very difficult to read. And I like the fact that Toby told him, you need to go now and tell Kaz. You shouldn't be sitting down with me. You should be talking to Kaz. Have a conversation with her and see what she says. So Tyler then pulls Kaz for a chat and sort of tells her about the kiss. And, he's sort of saying to her, because I don't know where we stand, we could reconnect, we could this. And Kaz, I give her credit for saying, if you were interested in exploring a connection with me, you wouldn't take someone up to the terrace and kiss them within 24 hours. You try and see where things go between the two of us before you do anything else. And so for him, I think he went upstairs expecting to have a conversation, but I don't think he went upstairs expecting to have a kiss. And so the fact that Hannah laid it on him and then blamed him for the kiss, I think is something that he hasn't heard yet, or something he's just sort of decided to brush over his head. So you have Kaz go and speak to her girls. She speaks to Liberty and sort of tells her what he said. And Molly and Liberty are right to say, he can't say he wants to explore a connection with you while he's kissing other people in the villa. He has to make a choice. Does he want to explore things with you? If he's going to explore things with you, then yes, he can get to know other people, but he can't be making out with them as well. And it's like, oh, you actually know that, Molly. You actually know that. How come you did the same thing? You went and you kissed Chris, and yet you're still expecting Callum to come and explore a connection with you? I don't get it. The fact that Liberty called Tyler for a chat, poor thing. All the guys are terrified for him. They're worried about what she's going to say. I personally understand where Liberty is coming from, but I think she should have given it time to marinate. I think she should have allowed Kaz time to process what is going on, and then she could have gone and had a chat with Lois. Because she's expressed her opinion about the situation, but I don't think she's been able to articulate how Kaz feels as a result of this, because this is not the first time a guy she's coupled up with has gone to the terrace with somebody else and kissed. Louis went and kissed Demi. Now he's gone and kissed Hannah. And that doesn't feel great. I love the fact that Kaz was actually very nonchalant about it and said, I don't know what I've done to the terrace, because every guy I'm in a couple with has to go up to the terrace. And I hope, if nothing else, Tyler needs to behave himself. I need him to keep Kaz in the villa. And the two of them are enough entertainment for me with Toby and his silly self. Anyway, you have Hannah have a conversation with Kaz and tell her that, Tyler stuck it on her. And it's like, that's not what we saw. You are the one who puckered your lips and went in for the kiss. Tyler didn't just drag you out of the blue. He went to kiss you on the cheek and you didn't realize that, and you went for the hug. And then after the hug, you came in and you puckered your lips and you went straight in for Tyler. Yes, he kissed you the second time, but the first time you went in first. So please make it clear. So you have the Islanders in the bedroom sort of just getting ready for bed. I really love Kaz's relationship with Chris and Toby, because Chris was wearing a bonnet. That was cute. And you have, Toby sort of holding his hands up for her to sort of vent out her frustration about the fact that all the guys she's ever coupled up with are all going to the terrace and kissing somebody else. That was cute. You could see Tyler felt some type of way, but what is he going to do? Nothing. He's just going to have to sit there and bear it. And for Arabella to try and encourage Toby's silliness and encouraging him to go and kiss Molly. Okay, we'll see what happens. So in the morning, there is a debrief, and the main conversation discussed are the fact that Callum and Georgia S. kissed, and, Toby is open to exploring a connection with Molly and is pleasantly surprised by that. And also the fact that Hannah and Tyler kissed. And for me, I think the thing about Callum and Georgia S., I think it's just because I think it's geographical for Georgia S, because Georgia S was close to all the guys, and suddenly as soon as Toby told her no, that's it, she's open to getting to know Callum. I think it's just geographical that he is the only person that's convenient for her at this moment in time, and so she's going to put in as much effort as possible. With Molly, it seems like it's geographical, and part of it seems like payback, in the sense that if Georgia S is going to go after Callum, then I will go after Toby. That's the impression that I'm getting. And then with the Hannah and Tyler situation, I still feel like Hannah is the one who went in for the kiss first. It wasn't Tyler, although Tyler said it was 60-40 on his part. And so I don't know. I hate the fact that Hannah sort of said it to Kaz to sort of try and shift the blame and said, oh, he went in for the case first and blah, blah, blah. I personally feel like it's going to take until movie night when Kaz actually sees exactly what happened, that Hannah is not as innocent as she's making out. So I hope they're able to save Hannah, Tyler, and Kaz until movie night, and then we'll get an explanation about that. After debriefing, the guys are having a conversation on the daybed because they all can see through Mitch. They all can see that he's not as into Liberty as he makes out, and it seems like he's getting the ick. I think Mitch has never had someone who's so into him. I think it's reminding him of Abby from his season, and I have a feeling that he's already checked out. Everybody knows he really wanted Demi, but sadly that didn't work out. So I think with Liberty, he's going to ride it for as long as he can. When he's asked during debriefing if he's open to pursuing other connections, he said yeah, because he's still very open, but he doesn't know whether Liberty understands how open they are. And it's like, Mitch is going to be Mitch. He's shown you who he is. I don't know why people don't believe him every single time. I'm going to need the producers to allow us, the viewers, to choose who we want to come in, because this ain't it. I don't know who Sophie is. I didn't watch season 6, so I can't say anything about her, but I do know Tom. I think that's the first season I started watching. And personally, if I had to choose between Tom and Zara, I would have picked Zara. I'd have rather Zara come in because Tom is very boring and he's just like watching paint dry. So the audacity of the producers to bring him back, unless they brought him for Georgia Steele, it still doesn't make sense. I wish Zara had come in. She would have given us more drama. I think Zara mixed with Kaz would have been reality TV gold, in my opinion. But it's sad that they've chosen to bring Tom. For what reason, I don't know. And it seems there's a lot of incest in Love Island, in the sense that Tom apparently dated Georgia Steele, and he also has some sort of history with Arabella. And it's like, what's up with Arabella and Georgia Steele? Why is it they always go for the same guys? Outside of Chris, they seem, they both have a history with Toby. Now they have a history with Tom. Who else do they have a history with? This is a lot of incest. And for Mitch to make it known that he is open, to getting to know Sophie, it's like, Mitch is going to Mitch. It's up to Liberty whether she's going to be able to deal with Mitch, but Mitch is always going to be Mitch. And whether she likes it or not, she's not going to be able to control him. She has to decide, is she willing to take the risk and be seriously in a connection or in a couple with him and see how it goes. And then hopefully somebody, her type, comes in. And before Mitch's type comes in, or before somebody decides to go recouple with Mitch. That's just my opinion. But for her to expect a relationship from Mitch, Liberty has a lot of heartbreak coming. And the guys have already said this, that they see a lot of tears when that relationship ends. Why do we have to continue to watch Tyler and Hannah and try and make it seem like it's a thing when it's really not a thing? I don't get it. And the way they keep talking about this case, the producers need to move on. We've had enough of this case. We don't want to hear anymore. I think they really want Hannah to stay in the villa. And so Toby might have been asked, do you want to stay in the villa or do you want to pick the person you want? And he's decided to stay in the villa. So he's going to push this boat with Hannah up the stream until he gets it to where he wants to go. Obviously, the guys already know about Tom's history with Arabella and Georgia S. And you can see Callum is feeling some type of way. Apparently, Georgia S was telling Hannah that apparently the only reason why she stopped seeing, Tom was because of the fact that she, wanted to pursue things with Toby. And this is why she broke things off with him. And so she's sort of frazzled. And it's like, why are you frazzled? So you weren't really feeling Callum then, because if you're feeling Callum as much as you made out, you wouldn't be even open to trying to rekindle things with Tom. You keep wanting to rekindle these flames, and then as soon as they start to burn, you run away, you move on to the next one. Make it make sense. Anyway, Tom receives a message to say to choose 3 people for a date, and I think he's just there to just get the followers. I don't think he's there to look for a connection, because of the fact that he chose Arabella, who he has a history with, for his starter. Molly, I think just because everybody wants to go on a date with Molly. And then for his dessert, he chose Georgia Steele. And it's like, so why not be open to getting to know somebody different? Why didn't you choose someone you don't know? It's obvious that you're after pursuing something either with Georgia S or with Arabella because you've already got a history with them. Sophie, on her part, chooses Chris for her first course, Toby for the mains, and Josh for the dessert. And it's like, oh my God, if there was a trifecta of bad boys, I think the only person I like in that group is Toby. But even Toby isn't serious about her relationship. So I don't know whether she's actually looking for someone who's serious about her relationship or whether the producers told her who to pick, because none of those guys, as much as I love Toby, are good enough. That's just my opinion. So as the Islanders are getting ready for the night, you have Georgia S talking about the fact that she's anxious that, Tom is there, and the fact that she already was pursuing things with Callum and now Tom has just thrown a spanner in the works. And it's like, so you really are not loyal then? Because when you came in, you made it seem like it was Toby or nothing. And then you went from Toby to Callum. And now suddenly it's now, Tom is here. Make it make sense. Anyway, the Islanders go on their date. So Tom goes on his first date with Arabella. And Arabella is just flirting. And you can see Tom, I think, didn't want to ruffle feathers. So that's why he chose Arabella, in my opinion. Because it's not like he's saying anything romantic or anything that sort of makes you feel like he's got some sort of emotion or any inclination to pursue anything romantic with Arabella. So I don't know how that's going to play out. Sophie and Chris, I think it was just a date of convenience. She said she looked for people that were going to make her happy, people that were very funny, and that's what she chose, because Chris is just there just for the comedy. In the kitchen, you have Toby making spaghetti. I don't know whether they gave him a recipe or whatever. And then he and Molly share a spaghetti, and it's like, Molly's really into this thing with Toby. It's going to be very sad if Molly and Toby are able to establish a connection and then Georgia S leaves Callum for Tom, because then Callum is going to realize that he actually lost a good thing trying to pursue something that was nothing, and here he is, he's stuck. Anyway, the dates and next it's on to the main course, which is Toby and Molly. Mitch is always going to be Mitch. He's always going to be messy. The fact that he was making comments as, the dates were going on and he was talking about kissing and stuff, and it's just like, why are you saying that? And for Anton to clock him that Mitch is there for the fame, and it's like, you are also there for the fame. You are not there to find a girlfriend, because you could have easily done that in the real world. Don't make it seem like Mitch is the only person there for fame. You're also there for fame. Otherwise, you could have stayed your butt at home and you could have found someone. I like you, but allow Mitch to be Mitch. I'm going to say this, but I was actually pleasantly surprised by Tom and Molly's date, because I thought it would be very dry. And so to see her flirting and smiling and being happy, I think the only other time I've seen her do that is with Toby. So to see her do that with Tom was amazing, but I don't think Tom is it for her. For me, Tom should not have come back. That's just my opinion. I would have rather had Scottisha, because I really love Scottisha. So I'd rather have had Scottisha than to have Tom come back. I think it's just like watching paint. At least Scottisha has very good comebacks if needed. So I don't know how I feel about that. I think the producers are looking for people with history. That way it can be messy. That's the impression that I'm getting. So they're looking for exes or people that have left the show as dating and are now exes, or people that have dated or had situationships in the real world. That's the impression that I get. Anyway, Toby's food apparently looked bad, but Toby's got riz. He had Sophie eating out of his hand. The way he was able to sort of impress her, even though the food was crap, and had her giggly and gaggly and all, sweet on him. I really want to know what it is about Toby that has these girls going wild for him, because I think Sophie seemed more happy on her date with Toby than she did with Chris, but then that's just me. I don't know, we'll see. So for the third date, it's Josh going on a date with Sophie, and Tom is on a date with Georgia S. And personally, I think Josh is just doing his best so that he stays in the villa. So he's going to dance until Sophie bites, because of some of the stuff he was saying. You could see he was trying too hard to sort of impress her. And I don't know whether she really feels him or whether she just found him funny and was just giggly to anything and everything he said, because he told her that he tried it with Molly, but it didn't work out. I would rather Sophie choose Toby. I know Toby ain't shy. I know Toby is messy. I know Toby's not serious about anyone. He's got this riz whereby whoever he wants he'll get, and then he'll move on to the next person. But hey, I think she's way better off with Toby than she is with Josh. I don't know. I feel sorry for Callum because Molly was interested in him. Yes, her communication was bad, but at least she was really into him. And he left that for Georgia S., who seems to still have a thing with Tom because of the way they were talking, the fact that she said she'll hug him, but she won't sit on his lap, and immediately went to sit on his lap. I think there's more of a history there than we actually know. I think they're making it seem as though they broke up because of Toby, but I think there's something else that happened. Whether he was seeing somebody else or whatever was going on, I think there's more to that story, and I think they're just using Toby as an excuse for why they didn't continue to date. It's either they were dating or one of them was dating somebody else outside of Toby, and so because they can't say who they were dating, they've decided to make Toby the fall guy because he's already on the show and the viewers can see him because their chemistry and everything. You could see Callum was feeling some type of way, and it's sad that I don't think Molly will take him back now because she'll say the only reason why you're coming back home is because the person you were interested in has chosen somebody else. So I worry that he might choose to, self-evict just like Jack did, but hey, we'll see. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 8. Bye guys.